Hello and welcome to my first podcast. I'm your host, Max Röck, and today you are listening to Master Your Move. This podcast is about my journey from mediocrity to mastery, my learnings along the way, tips, tricks and exercises to get ahead faster, which is potentially your shortcut to mastery. I'm here today with a guest, Stephanie Ilona, and I'm not sure if you can actually see her, our lovely cat Honey, just sitting in front of us. And we would like to tell you a little bit about mastering your move. Maybe you start and say a little bit about yourself.
Okay. So, hi guys. That's quite new for me, so be patient with me. My name is Stephanie Ilona. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook under this name. And I'm 33 years old. You can't believe it. I look very young, I know. And so what did I do? The last what I did was in May 2018. I decided to open my own business in this kind of coaching, helping people to find their best life, good, let's say, good tips for relationship goals and self-love and this kind of stuff. I have a blog as well, so sometimes when you want to look and read some of my articles, I'm very proud of it. I have, I think now around 6, I'm not sure, 6 articles. And I'm really happy to be here.
Okay, so what we would like to talk today about is recent event. We moved to a new apartment, which was not that far of a move for us, but it was still 130 kilometers from our old apartment. Some of you may already know we have also moved before from Germany to Ireland, back from Ireland to Germany, and now we move again in Germany. So I think it has been our 6th move together or so, if we're not counting temporary homes like hostels, hotels or something like that. Then we have a little bit more, because in between, when I moved to Ireland first and Stephanie joined after, I lived the first 6 weeks, I believe, in a hostel, and then I lived in an apartment with a colleague, and then she moved over as well 6 months later. Maybe that's now 4 months later, probably.
Not 6 months later. You went 29th of April and I went 5th of August 2013.
Yeah, so a little bit more than 3 months. And then we moved in Ireland as well to have our own apartment, and then that was so far the apartment we have been the longest for in a row. So now we're in a new apartment and we had to move. So moving from Ireland to Germany was, I would say, a little bit easier, because it was only putting everything into boxes, and we had a haulier or transportation company picking up everything. They were even packing it with us, and then it was shipped to Germany, and that was mainly it. But for the move now, in Germany, most of the apartments are unfurnished, so we have all of our own furniture, and we had to unassembly them, put them in pieces, make sure we are able to put them back together, and put them into our cars, or at a later stage a transporter we have rented out, and drive them all the way to the new apartment, put them in place, paint, and was a lot of which has to be done. So what was your experience from the last move, or maybe in comparison to the previous moves we had?
So well, as you said, I think Ireland was the easiest move, in kind of that we didn't have to bring furniture with us, and Honey, at least she could fly in the same airplane with us, so this was easy. I think we had 2 luggages each of us, I'm not sure, and then Honey, 4 together, and Honey in a box. It was much easier. And we had a really good friend from us. He picked us from the airport when we arrived in Frankfurt. And this time it was a bit like we had to organize everything. So we had to talk what has to be done before we start going into our new apartment. And we had to see how much we have to paint, what do we need for the painting. And packing the boxes, that was easy. I did most of them because as soon as we had the boxes, I started to pack already. It was already too early, 1 month earlier. Then we had the keys for the new apartment, but it was a good feeling because I think I knew, okay, now it's ready. We have the first boxes and all this kind of stuff. But it was far from the drive, so most of the time we lost on the motorway, I would say, because when we were here we knew, okay, we start with this room, because when Honey comes we put her into this room and then we change and then we go to the next room. I think after the 1, 2, 3, third room, we realized that we had to buy a new painting color or a color because we had an old one, and this was really difficult for me to paint because I don't know how old the color was already, but with the new one it was so much easier. We had one huge room where you can see us here now. We had this room together made in less than 2 hours, and for the other 2 rooms it was 4 hours painting.
Yeah, so I was driving back and forth. She was already starting to paint with like an old white painting color. We had the shanking was Honey jumped onto the table where the camera sits.
Yeah.
Okay, so next time we might have to close the door. So I was driving back and forth to collect new items or cartons, and she was already painting. So when I came back, the wall was white, but it wasn't white at the same kind of. It was really. I thought it was a new style she tried to paint, but it was actually. So we had a few arguments as well why it looks that way. I tried it myself, and it looked actually even worse afterwards. So. After we had already, I think most of the color finished, we needed a few other items, and we went to the local, shop, and we got a new painting color, which actually was exactly the same brand, and I think there's a color code or something like that on it. We checked and we bought that one. Started with, I think, the third room or so to paint, and it immediately was white, all the same, all over, and we were like. Well, that's crazy. Why did we even bother use the all color? Because we didn't want to throw it away. But it was like we had 2 smaller rooms actually painted probably and used more time than we needed for coloring the rest of the rooms, which was 2 really, really big rooms which we still had to color, and we probably needed half of the time than for the other 2 small rooms, just because we had new painting color. And that was really annoying in a way, I think, and you get really frustrated with coloring over and over again the same spot, and that's not really nice. So we learned that really from that move, that we have to maybe spend that few extra money even if we have some color left, because it's not worth the extra hassle to get it painted over and over again, just to have it as close as possible, looking the same on the whole wall, not only on a few centimeter area. Yeah, and we had a few friends as well which were helping us to kind of, we have a a few big furniture for our clothes. Really big, and they have the doors are with glass and stuff like that, so we had a few friends helping us so that we don't actually try to carry them ourselves and kind of drop them and destroy the glass. So that was really helpful as well. Not sure what you thought of having people over to help.
Yeah, I'm really happy that we had, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4 people they helped us.
Who was the fourth?
Not 4.
Pierre?
Flado, Chris.
Yes.
Oops, 3. It was 3, yeah. And yeah, it was good because I think after the second or third drive I was feeling very weak and I couldn't get the heavy stuff up to the steps, because the old apartment you had to go down or around the house, go down a few steps, and then you had our door. So at this day I was already, because we didn't even took the time to have breakfast, we just wanted to have it done. So we were waking up and then we got ready, we drove to the old apartment, and on this day I said I can't do it, I can't make it. And then we asked some new neighbors which moved in the area to our old apartment, and they were so nice, he helped us, so I was lucky. And the other 3,
that's probably the fourth person then.
Yeah.
That's
the fourth, yeah. And I mean, we are really, really grateful for you guys. So really thank you that you helped us, and we will throw a big party. We don't know the date yet, but we will find a date.
I go for 25th of June, but not sure. We will see. But yeah, that was, I think for us and for myself, also really helpful to, we didn't have to carry everything by ourselves at the end. The cartons and stuff, there were a few heavy ones in where we have all our books. So when she mentioned that she had already everything packed weeks before we actually started to move, she also finished off a book, and she had to actually open a parcel again to get out a new book to read. So that was way too early, but that's what she is. She's always prepared way ahead. So it was great. I didn't have to do any packing. Yeah, it was actually good. But still, we didn't have breakfast. Sometimes we didn't have dinner, and then got up early-ish the next morning to drive back to kind of avoid the traffic. Yeah, it wasn't easy. I think we had a lot of arguments just because we were tired, angry of what we still had to do. So if you have help and other people around, it's always easier, and you don't find each other that much. If other people are around, they help you as well if something doesn't go the right way.
And you don't have to be afraid to ask for help. If you need help, ask for help. It's better than trying it alone and then get angry on the end, and then you get into a fight.
Yeah, you should really ask for help. It's really helpful. I didn't do that all the time, and we thought our neighbors in the old apartment might be a bit, let's say strange in a way, because they were using the front of our house to park and stuff like that. But when we asked them for help during the move, we figured out they're really nice people, and we should have probably go to them, meet them, talk to them, maybe have a coffee or invite them for a barbecue way before we actually left. And we also paid a visit to other neighbors this week or last week when you will listen to that. And they're really nice people, and we just believed the stories other people were telling us rather than make our own picture. And I think that's nothing we should ever do. What's your...
Yes, that's true, guys. We most of the time we judge before we even talk to other people, and that's that's a thing. I think we get this already in our childhood. So I don't want to say it's the fault of our parents, but they live it. So we see it, we think it's good, and then we do it. So my advice would be, well, make your own picture from the people and go and talk to them actually, because it's much better than listen to someone you don't know. I mean, I know when you move to a new area, you don't know the neighbors or the people, because we are not from this area either. And just make the first step, go to them, say hello, introduce yourself, say, look, we are new. And sometimes maybe we can have a coffee or a cake or nice barbecue. That's better than listen to someone else.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, anything else you want to listen before we wrap it up?
Well, I think one more thing would be to say, as you mentioned, I prepared the moving very well. It's not because I think not because we talked about it that I have to do it, but in a relationship, when you move together, and I mean we are almost 8 years together, and we should know each other very well by now. And when you have a big event moving, that's nothing small. Even if you leave the country, then sit down, make notes, look that that you stand up early enough, that you have breakfast, take the time to have the breakfast because you need your strength for the moving. And if something doesn't work because you think it's right how you do it, talk to your partner, and it's even better as saying nothing.
Yeah, so if you want to, or if you will move in the near future, or you can always reach out to us for tips. But I think the most things, or the most important things we have learned from that move or any moves we have done before is if you have to paint, make sure you buy quality color. Even if it's more expensive, it will save you so much probably gray hair I will have here somewhere. If you move a further distance, if it's not only a 5-minute drive, it becomes even more important. I think you should always make a list what you have to do and what you need to do those certain tasks when you go back to the apartment. But we have seen that at one time when my parents came over to help us hang the lamps on the ceiling, we thought we forgot one I think was the screws, and there's some metal part, I'm not sure what it's called actually, to hang the lamp, and we saw that still in the old apartment, so that would have wasted us 4 hours or so to go back. And the other time I think I forgot a screwdriver or a few other things. I had to ask neighbors to get it. Luckily they had some, they could borrow us, so it wasn't us driving back 3 hours or 1.5 hours back to the apartment. So you have to make those steps, especially when Honey jumps. When it's a further distance to go. Honey, you might want to add something as well?
Yeah.
And other learnings we had, always ask for help. You don't have to be afraid for help. Most people are actually happy to help you, and they really feel appreciated when you ask them for help. And therefore, it is necessary to ask. It makes things so much easier. Any other learnings you had? Yeah,
I think because as I see Honey now, for all our pet lovers, dog, cat, bird, rabbit, whatever, make sure
chinchilla.
Move to another apartment, even to another country. Make it easy for your cat or dog, whatever you have, because that's a situation which is really stressful for them, and they need the time to get used to the new area. They need the time to explore the new room. So show them first of all, maybe first, one room, and then when you start finishing the another room, show them the other room, and then see that she feels good. I mean, for Honey it was fine. It was really good this time. I think it was much more scary for her when she came in 2014 to Dublin and then went back. But look, that you make it easy for your dog or cat, and then should be fine.
Perfect. So if there's nothing else to add, Honey, maybe? No, she's cleaning herself. So thank you for listening. I'm your host, Max Röck, and until next time.